All right, good evening. I'd like to call to order this special Common Council meeting. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, and it is 6:30 p.m. Our first order of business is roll call. I'll go ahead and call the roll. Alder Mike Milkey is absent excused. Jim Benash.
Here.
Kathy Lohendorf.
Here.
Diane Wolf.
Here.
Stephen Knott is not in attendance at this moment. And Larry Jurassic.
Present.
Thank you. We're here tonight for consideration and possible action on the following item. Item 2, appeal of denial of a beverage operator's license application to Allison Hallweger. Who is going to introduce this item to the council this evening for the background information? Joanne? Apologies. That's okay. All right.
You have in front of you Allison's original application that she submitted with the city on January 28th of 2026. That then goes to a background check to the police department. After the background check, it was a recommended denial by the police chief. We sent a letter to Allison dated February 4th of 2026, letting her know that her application had been denied and giving her the option of filing an appeal, which is why we are here tonight. And as part of that appeal process, she submitted the letter dated February 10th of 2026. And that letter, she references her application from several years ago. So I've also provided you with a copy of that. And that application was from June 17th of 2020.
Okay.
So I think how we'll proceed tonight is that we will let Ms. Hallweger sort of make her case since she is the appellant. And then Chief Berg can take a couple moments to state the city's position, and then we will turn it over to the council to decide.
Thank you. All right. Well, at this time, Allison will welcome you. Yeah. Is your thing on? Your turns green when it's on.
That was it?
Yep, there you go. Thank you for coming in this evening.
First.
A little closer.
Yeah, you have to be close to it. It's kind of weird.
So like I stated in the letter, I've had an operator's license in the city of Onalaska, so I just assumed that everything from 2015 was already known and that I didn't have to like write it all out. So I did explain a little bit in my letter, kind of what was going on in my life then, what I've been doing since then. As far as the ticket, I explained in there as well. I was giving some friends a ride home from the bar that I was working at, which was the Onalaska Legion, and I was pulled over and I had an open intoxicant in the back, which I didn't know about. Went the next day, paid the ticket. Yeah, and I honestly didn't even remember to write that down. I completely forgot about it. So that's why that wasn't on my application. And I think those were the reasons I was denied. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure, yeah.
Yep. Now we'll hear from Tim Berg, our police chief.
Mhm.
Welcome, chief.
Thank you. So I did receive the letter and I reviewed it, and just part of my due diligence in this process, I felt it was worthy to review the body worn camera of the officers that conducted the traffic stop, just to verify the information in the letter was accurate. In the letter, Ms. Hallweger indicates that she was bartending at the American Legion. She was getting ready for close-up. She gave a few friends or patrons a ride home, and somebody left this can in the back of her car. She also claims, like she just said, that she went in the next day to pay the fine. The video does tell a little bit of a different story, and I just wanted to go over those points. The can, when the officers initially approached the car, Allison was the only person in the car. And when they approached the car, it was sitting on the front floorboard of her vehicle. The officers made initial contact. They broke contact, went back to the squad car to do some paperwork. They talked to each other, and I apologize, this all occurred out in Bangor. When they went back up to the car a second time, they could no longer see the can. Eventually, during the traffic stop, the car was searched and the can was located under the front seat, so it had been moved. Allison also admitted to drinking to the officers. She had indicated she drank 2 White Claws while she was at work, and she indicated that work was, or the location she was coming from was Cooley Golf Bowl, not at the Legion. The officers, when they questioned her about initially seeing the can, she said something to the effect that she didn't know the can was in there. Just kind of pleaded with the officers she wasn't aware of it, but obviously she had been aware of it because she had moved the can underneath the front seat. She indicated that it may have been a friend of hers, Kristen's, that she had given a ride to after leaving Cooley, and that may be who had left the can in the car. The only other thing I would say is that she indicated that she went in and paid the fine the next day. I checked with the clerk of courts and was informed that actually Allison defaulted. She did not show up for her court appearance. This traffic stop occurred, I believe, on June 1st, and the fine was paid in November of that year. So those were the parts of the letter that I could, easily try to verify. There were these discrepancies here. I will say that Allison does seem like a nice person. However, before I signed off on this, I felt it was worthy of bringing to your attention.
Thank you for that. Joanne?
I did also just want to clarify that the application that was completed in June of 2020, that license would have expired in June of 2022. So Allison has not had a license in the city of Onalaska since 2022. And you will note that there is quite a bit of difference in the application forms from what was requested in 2020 compared to what we now request for the last couple of years.
Okay, thank you. Do the counselors have any questions especially for, okay, go ahead, Larry.
Thank you, Mayor. If this was the only offense of the driving issue and not the one prior to that, would you recommend giving her the license?
My concern is more related to the fact that if she was at work that night and she was tending bar, I mean, we do have these rules and ordinances in place for a reason, and we need to make sure that our operators, our people that hold operators license, are following them. And in this case, it does not appear that that was the case. So that's what brought the concern up to me. And I think it is a totality of the circumstances. I wasn't really able to look into the other issues or the other criminal history other than seeing that it was there. I didn't have time to go through and review video. I don't know that that was relevant. This was an actual alcohol violation that occurred immediately following a shift at work.
But is this enough to say no on, and not her, it could be anybody with this offense? Would that still
Yes, I would treat everybody the same. I mean, it's not,
say no?
yes.
Okay,
Well, Larry, they did say no.
I know.
That's why she's appealing.
Well, I thought he was taking the history before and this together, so.
I think maybe what Larry's trying to say is if she had put the 2022 offense for open intoxicants, if she had declared that on her application, would this have then been allowed, or would the response have been to decline it? Because you wouldn't have probably known that
Right.
additional context of just getting done with a shift, et cetera.
If she had disclosed this, I would have referred with legal counsel for an opinion. I mean, I obviously have some concerns. It's important that we're following those. If that were the only violation, and being that it did occur in 2022, I don't think I would have had as much concern as I have right now.
Okay, Thank you. Joanne?
I did just want to point out on the back page of the most recent application, at the very top of it, it says giving false or incomplete information or misinformation on the application will be grounds for denial.
Thank you. Okay, do the counselors have any other question? Kathy?
Um, can you confirm if you had White Claws that evening? Or
did, and I
whatever
did.
alcoholic beverages, and were you on shift when you had those?
I was not working when I had those. We were already closed up. A friend was having a birthday. So I completely forgot I stopped at Cooley, but yeah, stopped at Cooley for one, was giving my friend a ride home. I didn't deny that to the officer. I didn't get a DUI. Yeah, she
Yeah.
just ended up sending me on my way.
I think my only other comment is that, the nature of conviction, I know it was almost 10 years ago, but I think that the nature of your conviction is a little bit more than just drug related. So I think that a little more detail on that would have been nice.
I agree. Yep.
So those are my only comments.
Okay, Amanda, did you want to add anything?
No, I mean, really, at this point, it falls in the council's purview to either grant the appeal, which would issue the license, or deny the appeal, which would affirm the denial.
Thank you. Allison, did you want to add anything before I turn it over to the council for a decision?
No, I just would really like to be considered if that, yeah.
Thank
Really
you.
enjoy working in the city and I enjoy working for the people. Yep.
Thank you. Okay,
2-year license,
um,
2 years?
would that be in our purview to reduce the amount of time or make it probationary? Is like there any kind of,
That would be kind of a unique way to handle it
Okay.
right now.
I'm just asking a question. I don't know that that's how we want to handle it, but
What we have established right now is if it were denied tonight, Allison would be able to reapply in a year.
one
As
year.
long as she listed the charges, then it would go back to the police chief for a background check and the potential to be approved in a year.
Thank you.
I
Okay,
also, if you don't mind, Your Honor, I did just want to point out, when it comes to bartenders' licenses, you are still allowed to act in the role of a bartender as long as there is another licensed bartender on premise overseeing the sales. However, in this situation, I believe Allison was interested in working at the wharf, and they often only have one
One.
bartender on
Mhm.
staff, so that's more of a reason it's probably more important for her to
And
get the license tonight.
And that's why I have not gotten a new one. I've been working for Cooley Golf and Bowl, and they don't need me to open or close. So I didn't really need to update it. And then getting a new job, being the only bartender on staff, I would need my operator's license to do so.
okay. Thank you. If everyone is good, I guess I'll turn this matter over to the council and ask someone to put a motion to put this on the floor for formal discussion and passing or not passing it.
I'll make a motion that we consider the applicant's application.
What
Good.
does that mean?
Uh,
To approve the license or to not?
Deny.
Which?
Deny.
To deny. Okay, Larry's made a motion. The motion is to deny the appeal. Is that correct?
Yes.
Second,
Which would be to uphold the position of the staff.
Correct.
Okay, is there a second?
second,
Oh, sorry, Diane.
Oh,
I
you're
heard
good.
this voice from the sky. Did you
know.
have any questions? Okay, so let me just get the motion on the floor here and then we'll see if you have a question. Okay, the motion that we have on the floor is to deny the appeal. The motion has been made by Larry Jurassic. It's been seconded by Diane Wolf. And I'll just ask Diane first if she has any questions or comments since I omitted doing that previously.
thank you, Mayor. Probably easier to get me out of the way first, just because of how the process is being online. For me this evening, I will be voting to deny. And for me, the main reason is because, and I'm sure I'm not speaking out of turn or saying anything that I should not publicly, because when we've had a couple of these in the last couple of years, I believe they've all been to deny. And for me personally, I think I understand maybe someone may have forgotten about and not including something on the application. But it's been my position and I will continue to maintain that position. To me, it's very, very serious when someone is signing something, whether it's your taxes, whether it's an application. And the good news is that I fully support someone being able to come back in a year and apply again. And I would venture to guess that someone will not make that same mistake twice. So I will be voting to uphold the denial by the police department. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselors, any other comments or questions?
Concur.
Okay. Alder Benash?
I think the false or incomplete information that was made on the application in itself is a recommendation for denial. But beyond that, I think with my past experience with those that have had issues with alcohol or drugs, working in a place where they serve alcohol is a temptation that is not necessarily the best place for a person to be if you're dealing with some kind of addiction or issues with alcohol. The other issue is, I know that if you've been drinking on a job that is strictly prohibited as a bartender at the American Legion. So it seems clear by the applicant, the application, and the statement that the police chief just gave that there may be some issues here that need to be resolved personally for trustworthiness. If you're going to have to look at individuals who may be underage, you may have some issues. If somebody offers to buy you a drink as you're a bartender, I don't know what the situation is there at the wharf, if they allow it or not. But if there's an issue with alcohol, 1 could lead to 2, 2 could lead to 3. I understand that you may be a good person, Allison. And I'm not sure this is the best avenue for you to be working at. There may be other places where you could work that may fit you better than trying to get a bartender's license. And that's all I have to say right now.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions from the counselors? Okay, did you want to say something, Amanda, before we vote?
I was just going to add that we would need a motion.
We have a motion.
Oh, we did. Sorry, I missed that.
That's okay. Okay, so the motion on the floor is to deny the appeal. So in this case, unfortunately, I'm sorry I worded it this way, but a vote of yes is to deny the appeal. In other words, a vote of yes is to uphold the staff decision. So therefore, I will call the question. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed, say no. Okay, the motion passes unanimously and the appeal has been denied. But thank you, Allison, for coming in. We appreciate hearing from you and good luck in your endeavors.
Appreciate that.
Mhm. Item 3 is adjournment.
Make motion.
Motion by Kathy Lohendorf to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Larry Jurassic. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 It's a unanimous vote. We are adjourned and the time is
6:50, 6:50.
6:50, which gives everyone 10 minutes until the next meeting. Thank you.
And Mayor,
Diane, I am
Mayor.
going to end this meeting and I'm going to start the
Yes.
other one.
perfect. Thank you so much.